AI will destroy us. It will take our jobs. We'll be living under bridges because we're all out of work. And the few of us who still have a job, they'll be doing simple menial tasks supervised by an AI. Maybe they get electroshocks if I don't do it right. AI is a fucking dystopia. Hi, I'm Norman, and I want to try to create some clarity in this video around AI, what it does, what threats it poses, and what opportunities it might afford us. Before I do though, I have a question for you. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. First of all, let's talk about some facts. ChatGPT was launched in late 22, early 23. Took about 2 months for ChatGPT to accumulate 100 million users, so pretty fast. Today, obviously, we have lots of competition out there, but ChatGPT really was the first big LLM. Today, about 2 billion people in the world use AI in some way, shape, or form, and just under 60% of companies worldwide use AI, again, in some way, shape, or form. Some have their own versions, some use the publicly available versions, some use it strategically, some use it for some email writing, but about 60%. And obviously that number is rising very fast. So AI is a massive success story. The market capitalization is immense. And we want to look at what AI will probably do or not with your job. Lately, some of the big tech CEOs, such as Sam Altman of OpenAI or Dario Amodei of Anthropic, also Zuckerberg, etc., I think Elon Musk, they've all talked about how AI can be used in future. I think all the companies I just mentioned, they have announced layoffs. Meta is announcing layoffs. PayPal is announcing layoffs of people because they say their jobs can be done by an AI. So obviously tech CEOs are thrilled at the prospect of not having to deal with those pesky human beings. You know, first they're lazy, they're stupid, they get sick, they go on holidays, they found workers' unions, they disagree with their bosses. So they're a pain, aren't they? You have to pay them money. And obviously in their world, the idea of having a system where really your business is run by an AI or several AIs, and it's only flanked by some humans who help train it and sort of control it, it's perfect for them, isn't it? They're very happy. I think the term is the one-person team in future. So you have one person running a team of AIs. Well, I don't think so. It's true, as companies grow and sort of scale their business, they take on lots of people and they tend to accumulate a little bit of fatty tissue around the edges. They may have more personal assistants than strictly necessary, more analysts, maybe more team leaders. And from time to time, I think it's okay for a business to look at its structure. And that doesn't necessarily mean they have to bring in one of the big consulting houses to sort of slim it down a bit. It might mean that they have to look at, is it right that we are hierarchy? It should be more tend towards matrix, lateral, or even holacracy. So what do we need? Who do we need? What do we need them to do? I think that's fair. And if the result is that, yes, some jobs are not needed, then that's not good. But it's a business, and I think they have a right to look at that. There's a book which I'd like to recommend to you. It's by David Graeber, and it's called Bullshit Jobs. And it takes I think a quite funny look at lots and lots of jobs that people do that have absolutely no purpose, no sense, and are truly bullshit. And yes, we need to talk about the unconditional basic income. We need to talk about it because of AI. We need to talk about it because of all the digitalization that's happening. On the other hand, birth rates are down in almost every major industrial nation in the world. So there are less people to do the work. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen around this. But the fact is, yes, some companies may carry a lot of people they don't really need for the business to be successful. Going back to AI and the notion that the company of the future is more or less run by a CEO who has a couple or maybe a dozen AIs reporting to the CEO and maybe some humans sort of flanking that whole process. Just think about this for a moment. Who's going to do your annual performance review and decide whether you get your bonus or not? Is that going to be done by an AI, maybe a humanoid robot? Is that robot going to ask you how you're feeling, what your dreams are, how the kids are doing, and whether your knee or your back feels better? Of course not. Human beings are social animals, and we saw this during COVID. We saw how lonely and depressed people got. And I remember after we were allowed to have workshops again, sort of in person, we couldn't get people away from the coffee machine where they were just chatting happily, connecting with people. And that's something that human beings will always want to do. And I don't see how that's going to change. Also, think about this whole thing about taking out middle management. Middle management, and team leaders, and the people below them on the shop floor, they are in many, many companies really the backbone of the company. I mean, they keep it running despite all the crap that comes from above. It's a fact of life. That's where mentoring takes place. It's where ideas are born. It's where problems are solved. It's where really communication and progress really happens. And middle management in particular, they often need to try and filter down decisions and communications from up above to the lower tiers of the organization. If you took all that away, what are you left with? And who would want to work in such an environment? Who wants to work in that dark factory where only robots do their job? So I think the idea that that's going to happen is unrealistic, to put it mildly. So let's all calm down and think straight for a second. Fact of the matter is, AI is here. It'll stay, and it will change the world and the way we work in ways that I think we've never seen before. There have been some of these incidents before in the history of humankind. The telephone, television. At the time when television became with audio, the executive said, "Who wants to hear actors speak?" When the emails started to flow in, we thought the postal service is dead. And yes, it took a hit. People still send letters and Christmas cards. So it sort of leveled itself out. There was this thing where everybody said it's never going to catch on. It's called the internet. Again, it did destroy jobs. As people were able now to sort of order stuff online rather than having to call or write a letter or whatever. So it did destroy a lot of jobs. Did it create a lot of jobs? Hell yes, it did. 2007, the first iPhone, same thing. Nokia and some others, it gave them pause, didn't it? Nokia still exists, it's just as different things now. And others quickly caught up to Apple in the smartphone race. So there's a case to say AI will probably go down the same route. It will ultimately destroy a lot of jobs. It will also give birth to a lot of new jobs that weren't there before. We don't know the future, but we do know that every new technological breakthrough also gives us opportunities. And I've heard stories and I've read about it that in the US, for example, college graduates, they now routinely leave college, form a company, something with AI. They raise $300 million in an instant because there's a bit of a gold rush really going on. And everybody who has an idea around AI, especially in the US, where there's a big entrepreneurial spirit, they have no trouble collecting some money and pushing the idea forward. So I guess that's where we stand. And always remember, the AI may take your job. It could happen. What could also happen is that a person who knows AI better than you do will take your job. And that's something that you can prevent. That's something you can work against. by working with AI. And I want to leave you with 3 words that might help you sort of navigate your way around AI. The first word is curation. You know, the curator is the person who's responsible for the exhibition in the museum. They have to make sure all the cases look good, the light is right, there's a little plaque down below the artifact that explains what it is and where it comes from. And they have to make sure the info is correct. You know, there's structure to everything and it's valid and valuable information for people. And that's what you should do using AI. You know, use one AI, don't use 6 or 7. Don't use them as glorified search engines. You know, pick one and really work with it. Create an agent. Tell it exactly what you want it to do. Question it. Probe it. Ask back. Ask the AI to ask you questions. AIs are sycophantic by nature. They will want to please the human. And they'll give you any old answer as long as you're happy with it, even if it's complete bullshit. And that happens. Because every AI is only as good as the people who feed it the data and is only as good as the prompts that you give it. So curate your info, double check it. And over time, you might see you get valuable responses from your AI as it starts to know you, the things that are important to you, the way you talk, the answers you're looking for, etc. The second word is curiosity. Don't put your head in the sand and say, oh God, you know, AI is going to take my job and I'll be out of a job soon. Be curious about it. Test it, probe it. What can it do? Pictures, calculations, text, summaries. What's it good for? What can you use it for in your line of work to make your life easier? So you are quicker in your responses. You can get stuff done. You don't have to work overtime. It may help you. Stay curious. And the third word is connection. Don't lose your connection to the real world. You know, nurture your friendships. Pay into your emotional bank accounts. Stay in exchange with other people. Talk to them about their experiences with AI. Just don't lose that connection. Don't sit in your office believing everything you see on your screen. And that's sort of what I want to leave you with today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, leave me a like and we'll talk soon on this channel. Until then, bye-bye.